Arthur, welcome back. First game back from a pretty minor injury, but obviously kept you out for quite a few weeks.
No, bone break's never good. I think it's adding a bit more metal to the body. Got a nice big screw in there now, which should hold me together hopefully. But I think 6 weeks in a boot, not being able to drive, is probably the longest period of my life. But no, really, really good to be back.
And I guess being the sort of competitor you are and wanting to get that jersey on, I guess that's a pretty tough time. How excited are you to get that jersey back on and get back out there on the pitch?
Oh, really excited. But I've also been just as excited to see the boys out there week to week. I think they've been playing some unbelievable rugby, and I've just been proud watching the boys keep pushing, keep playing the style of rugby we want, and making the fans proud. But no, dead keen to get the jersey back on and get back out there.
And how much of a testament is that to this group that obviously you suffer your injury and that's not ideal, but I guess your next thing is how can I support the boys off field or in a different way?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a big thing. There was a couple of weeks where I was back sort of on the training pitch, but wasn't in a position yet to compete for the jersey. And you've just got to almost switch your mind frame to how do I get the boys ready for the weekend. And I think that's where we do have such a good group, because there are a lot of people behind the scenes going week to week, not getting the game time that the others are getting, but they are still putting them in such a good spot for the weekend. I think building such a good group here.
And obviously not involved last weekend against Bath. It's obviously always disappointing to lose to your local rivals. How have the boys been this week? What's the message post that game?
Oh, it was tough, especially it being a final. I think knockout rugby is always a challenge mentally, and especially coming off a loss, and it almost doubles the pain. But we've had a really good week. We've been honest with ourselves. Little conversations here and there. I think they've had a bounce back, we've had a bounce back, and then going into a short week, you've almost got to come to terms with it, get over it and park it and move on to the next challenge. I think we've done that really well. We've had 2 really good training days so far, and we're just moving on to the weekend with a clear mind and focusing on the next objective.
Yeah, I guess that's a massive thing in pro sport, isn't it? Is bouncing back from when things don't go your way, and like we say, going into another huge game this weekend, you can't really dwell on that too much, and you've got to switch to the next challenge.
Yeah, exactly. This league is so tough. You can't have a week where you're just switched off, especially going away to Saracens, who've already beaten us once in the Prem. I think that'll be the biggest challenge of how we flip mentalities, going from one loss, trying to push forward. And I think everyone's so aware of the opportunity we've got this year in the Prem, and we're playing such a nice style of rugby that suits everyone out on the pitch. So it is a very exciting opportunity we've got this weekend to almost solidify that top 4 spot and try to get away from the boys at the bottom.
Like you say, going to Saracens this week, obviously always a tough challenge. They're there or thereabouts in terms of league position as well. Obviously, plenty of quality players in their team. How do you sort of take your game to Sarries and take them on, I guess?
I think it's all about winning the little battles. There'll be a lot of times where they are a great outfit and they play very good rugby, but I think they pride themselves on winning those little niggle battles on the floor and the rucks and scrums. So I think if we dial it in, especially as forwards, we've got a big opportunity to win those little battles and put them on the back foot, because I think they are a team that can get rattled, and as soon as we sort of gain the edge there, our style of rugby will take fold on the backs to do their thing and start running around people.
And I guess as George and Lights and the coach will allude to, I guess the best of Gloucester we've seen this season is when they're confident and when they're brave. And I guess when you go to a side like Saracens, you've got to be just those things, confident and brave, and take that to them.
Oh, look, we're dead confident. We know our ability. We know what we can do. We know the players we've got on the pitch, and I think it's not one. I think we've been guilty in the past of maybe having a bit of doubt and maybe not feeling ourselves, but look, have no doubt we are going down to Saracens to win, and we are going down to ultimately getting top 4 at the end of the season. So I think boys are dead keen for it.
Yeah, like you say, there's obviously no secret where the boys want to end up at the end of the season, but I guess that all comes down to the hard work and the work you put in over the next few weeks.
Yeah, it is, and we have addressed that. We've addressed the position we're in, and it's since I've been here, it's happened once. I think Luds has said it's happened once in his time he's been here, and that's about 50 years, I reckon. But it's such an opportunity, and we are not going to miss this chance we've got. And I think everyone's on the same page of pointing towards the end of the season and making sure we get to those finals.
And I know you're obviously a Gloucester fan yourself. You'd want to do that not just for the boys, but for these fans that come here to Kingsholm and obviously follow you away. There's obviously a large away following down at Saracens this weekend as well, which I guess can be a massive factor when you go to a ground like that.
I'm well keen to see it. I think it's going to be amazing. Obviously, our Gloss fans do have a presence to shed on tour. I think they are the best out there. But giving them their own section, I think, well, A, silly from Sarries because they're going to be the loudest there. And B, I think it's just going to help us. There'll be dark points in the game where we're absolutely hooning, and we can just look up and see that, just all those seats in red, and have a bit of belief that actually, no, we've got people behind us. And it's like a 16th man, I think. That's a cliche that everyone says, but it is, because they are just so amazing. And being able to be in the spot we are and contend for the end of the season, I think it's hopefully doing them proud.
And I guess all things considered, obviously everyone's saying how competitive and how entertaining the Gallagher Premiership's been this season, and it certainly makes out for another massive contest again, doesn't it?
Oh, it's going to be a huge game. You know, I think it's two teams with different opposing styles of rugby. I think they don't get me wrong, they can play rugby and they can, you know, run around people, but they do like the old style of rugby, kicking, like getting the ball back in that section and finding us in disconnect and playing like that. But I think if we keep our game where we've got it and take it to them, I think it's going to be a hell of a spectacle, as are all the games in the Prem.
Cheers, Arthur. All the best.
Lovely. Cheers, lads.